Georgia Tech, Florida State had 14 total possessions, 7 each. It is the fewest number of possessions in an FBS on FBS game since 2020. Bud, you mentioned before the show, you said, helmet. What is the connection between helmet communications and pace? You mentioned earlier that it felt like they were I think you said Florida State was very reliant on the helmet communications. Or after, again, small sample size, but after week 0, are you starting to adjust your pace expectations based on the way that the play clock is dropping to 15 for a lot of these teams?
Not a ton yet. And I thought I would, but in looking at it, I mean, Nevada is now running the Kansas system with Matt Luck. So that's just not, like, to me, that's not a consequence of the helmet comms. That is, they are running Kansas' system, which is like extremely, extremely slow. New Mexico is running basically what Bronco ran at UVA with Jason Beck, and that is sort of like a medium pace type thing. Hawaii played like every single person that has ever been on their roster in that game, and that was a weird one to watch, and they had a bunch of wind going on. So I'm not adjusting it too much yet, but there will be some teams that really wanted to like use the helmet comm down to the 15 every single play. And for those teams, you'll just need to kind of watch and adjust. I think the important thing to be looking for is kind of like the median play clock number, right? One of the reasons why the Florida State Georgia Tech game was so damn slow is because the ball almost never hit the ground with incompletions.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and Florida State couldn't get off the field, and Georgia Tech had it in its game plan. It's like, you know what sounds great? An 8-minute drive. Hey, that 8-minute drive was fun. Let's go do another, 8-minute drive.
It was a clean, very clean game. There weren't many penalties.
Nope. This is something I think I think this is a thing. I think we're going to see fewer turnovers in the sport because, like, I don't think it's the helmet comms is, hey, make sure to throw it here. I think it's more like, and Danny, you could speak to this. I think it's, hey, remember, on this play, what kills us is this. Like, avoid doing that. Like, I don't think they're saying, hey, throw it here. But it's like, remember.
Don't throw it to the flat.
Yeah. Like, who is hot? Where can we absolutely not go with the ball if you're hot? Like, that type of stuff. I mean, King threw no interceptable passes. DJ threw 0 interceptable passes. The Nevada kid maybe threw 1 up. New Mexico, 0.
Mm-hmm.
Preston Stone just underthrew a ball, but I don't think it was a bad read.
Also, we're seeing a lot of, and this was what the ACC really, I mean, this is what you could argue the talent of the quarterbacks, but the conference of the quarterbacks was how much experience they've had. Like, these are experienced quarterbacks who have played a lot of football. You would hope at some point they start realizing, you know what, turnovers aren't very good. But I agree, like Bud, I think what Bud's talking about, that if I was a coach, that's what I would do. If I was a quarterback, that's the type of reminders I would want. Hey, don't forget your sight adjust off the corner blitz. Or, if they bring, strong side safety, you got to go check out the other way. Like just those little reminders that are very, much in the finer details with, supposedly 20 hours of a playbook. Or if you put in new plays for that week, just those little subtle reminders is what I would want. Little matchups. Hey, we really like so-and-so on this route. Just keep an eye on the go route if it's there. Just those little subtle reminders. What I think, and I don't think we saw this, but where I think they could get in trouble is where they try to overcoach. And they're like, yeah, don't forget your progression here on this route, or they try to force the issue. That's when quarterbacks could get in trouble. I also thought it was pretty interesting. It seemed like Haynes King was having trouble hearing, because he was repeatedly like this. And there was a couple times he looked back over. Like Aviva Stadium, I think it only seats 50 grand. It's not exactly a ruckus crowd. Like if we get into the Shoe or Baton Rouge or Tiger, like anywhere that's significant crowd noise, is that going to be an issue? I don't think it will. Like, I think I'm just probably like, he was just cut. Like some guys feel more comfortable. They can hear better, but I do wonder if that's going to be an issue with crowd noise, potentially hearing. Because it's not anywhere near as loud as NFL. NFL stadiums are never loud. And so you never see them struggle with it. We know how college football fans roll. Like, it's going to be loud. These quarterbacks could have trouble hearing.
On the weekend, FBS quarterbacks threw 180 passes. 2 were deemed by PFF as turnover-worthy passes.
Wow.
It broke my heart.
Only 1 was picked, obviously.
It broke my heart to open the whoopsie daisy rate sheet on Sunday and see all those 0%. It was like, what are we even doing here? Here's a little fun fact trivia. After week 0, Which two teams lead the nation in EPA per dropback?
Is Montana State one?
Mexico.
Oh no, wait, FBS teams.
You're both wrong. It's Georgia Tech and Florida State.
Oh.
Hmm.
So the game with no passing attack is the one that leads in EPA per dropback.
They were also through the shortest passes outside of Nevada, as far as air yards are concerned.
You had underdogs go 4-0. You had unders go 3-1. The only game that went over was Montana State's furious fourth quarter comeback against New Mexico.
And dogs they all covered by more than a touchdown.
They covered yes. Yeah.
Week 0 is kind of weird.
Well, which is why it's great to overreact to it.
Right. Exactly.